Hello everyone and welcome back to this humble abode of gameplay and memes. Today I return to you once more with another Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever replay cast. Yes, we are back. This time on a beautiful map called Canyon of Arrakis. It's a 20 by 20 kilometers map and it has first of all, it's absolutely beautiful. You have to appreciate that. But second and most importantly, it's also got a whole bunch of these inaccessible little plateaus scattered around the edges, if I can... there you go. Yes, there are multiple of these. As you can see right now, there are 3 at the top of the map, 3 at the bottom, 4 of them in the corners. And yes, these are only accessible by air, so it's a really cool looking map as well, of course, as most of the Arrakis maps are. And this one, this time, for some reason, is actually spelled with a K, so I guess a copyright lawsuit is due somewhere in there. Hopefully not, but you never know. You never know with how these laws change these days. So, anyway, my point is, this map's got on itself 62,000 base reclaim, mostly in the form of these big rocks. There are some tiny rocks as well, but mostly just big ones that are worth approximately 75. They're scattered about everywhere. And yes, let's go ahead and start introducing our players, starting with Team 1 in the yellow corner. On the northwesternmost position, we've got ourselves AlDominix, or perhaps AiDominix. Anyway, he is has 1200 rank points, is currently playing Seraphim in Road Rage Red, going what looks like first land, yes indeed. Next up on the northern frontal position, so to speak, we've got ourselves CommanderDiva. Wow, what a name. Amazing. Yes, at 1600 rank points, playing Cybran in Life Given Yellow, going first to land. Next up on the lower or southern frontal position, we've got I'm Happy. I am sure, or maybe it's LM Happy, you never know with these nicknames these days. But anyway, this person has got themselves 1400 rank points. They are playing UEF in Shrinking Violet, going first land. The last person on the frontal sort of position, the southeasternmost position, is going to be Strife. I wonder if it's a Quake reference or not.
Nope.
But anyway, at 1300 rank points, playing Aeon in Power Play Purple, going first land. And in the rearguard positions, first of all, there are 2 Cybran players, as it seems. The first is going to be Emptynoob, who is also the highest rated player of this particular match. He's going to be at 1900 rank points, playing, like I already said, Cybran in Color Confusion Cyan, going first land. And last but not least, for Team 1, it's going to be moxnat, which, in case you're wondering, means something along the lines of fluffy in Russian. Yes, so you can call him Fluffy if you want. Yes, or just hairy, you know, that's also an option. At 1500 rank points, playing in Fresh and Fragrant Orange, going first land. Now on to Team 2 in the green corner. On the southeasternmost position, starting of course, you know, with mirror positions in relation to the previous team. This, my friends, is going to be Ilotos or Yotos or Lalotos, not entirely sure how to pronounce that. If you know, let me know as well. At 1200 rank points, playing UEF in lime green, going first land. And next up on the sort of kind of southern frontal position is going to be System Failure. At 1700 rank points, playing Seraphim in Coordinate Red, going first land. On the other frontal position, the northern one, is going to be the first Cybran of this team, is going to be MadEnte, or MadEnte perhaps, but I like MadEnte more, so I'm gonna be saying it like that. Yes, at 1500 rank points, like I already mentioned, playing Cybran in Winter Wipeout White, going first land. And the last frontal position for Team 2 is going to be... I can't even read this name. Oh, wait, yes I can. It's going to be BoeHOnacHocTe, which means military threat. A kind of, sort of. It's a bit of a broken expression there. Anyway, is playing at 1300 rank points. It is Cybran in Venomous Green going first land. On the rearguard positions are going to be... Who's this again? Oh yes, it is Gorthaur, the highest rated player of this particular team, at 1800 rank points, playing Aeon going first land in Thalassophobia Blue. And last but not least, for this team and for this particular match is going to be Zoom at 1500 rank points, playing Seraphim in Blues Blue going first land. There we go, that is all of the players out of the way, and now we shall speed the game up and see what the players are going to perform. Since this is a 20 by 20 map, you know, we can choose a slightly higher speed setting at the beginning, because it's going to take them a while to get to the other side, or even to the center, or even to the plateaus in the corners. But I'm sure you'll see very shortly. Alright, lots and lots of engineers are crawling out of both bases. Well, actually not that many. It seems like... Yes, it seems like Team 1 is at least sending scouts and already sending some planes, while Team 2, sorry, is currently working with just engineers. There you go, there's finally some scouts. It looks like Team 1 was a little bit earlier on the air uptake. They are now sending, you know, multiple fighters, multiple interceptors towards the enemy base. And also some bombers flying out as well. Actually, bombers are flying out of both bases, so never mind that. We're probably looking at our first air engagements here very shortly. A scout is flying nearby, so it should know where the enemies are. There you go, they found a bomber. One of Zoom's bombers got shot down, and the same fate will no doubt befall the scout. There you go. So yes, the bomber disruption did not work, and already you can see Emptynoob is occupying this plateau with 2 engineers already building up a land factory, and you can see that, yep, in response, Zoom is severely reducing the forces he is sending in. In fact, he didn't drop any engineers on the plateau at all. He just dropped them to reclaim these rocks that are scattered about. However, the first engineer actually died because there are already enemy tanks here. That was really quick. Out from Strife, already destroying engineers on the enemy's half of the map with land units. Very interesting indeed. Alright, we've got our first upgrades going up as well. This is probably the point where we should slow the game down. Yes, we've got Tech 2 going up for CommanderDiva. Oh, what a wonderful name. Fabulous, fabulous. We've got gun speed and range for BoeHOnacHocTe. And then we've also got, well, nothing yet it seems. Although people have already completed their... Yep, there you go. Gorthaur is already going T3 air, as is Emptynoob. That is super fast. 7 minutes into the game, they are already upgrading to T3 air. That is absolutely insane, if you ask me, but then again, I'm a mere 1200, what do I know? The northwestern plateau, I should say, still hasn't been occupied. I guess everybody just kind of gave up on it for some reason. But at the very least, they occupied the smaller plateaus. You know, in the north, it's occupied by moxnat, as it should be. And in the south, it went to Zoom, once again, as just as it should have. According to their positioning, according to their spawn locations. Okay, so people are still refusing to occupy the northwestern plateau for some reason. Okay, just, yeah, sure, just drop your engineers on the rocks. That's the valid comparison, I guess. Speaking of rocks, though, in terms of reclaim, Team 2 is clearly ahead at 27,000 mass versus 26. You know, it's not that big of an advantage, but it is an advantage nonetheless. Total mass accrued, once again, Team 2 already ahead. But in terms of generated mass, you can see, well, it's fluctuating wildly because of the rocks, so never mind it, this actually doesn't tell us anything. Now the T2 upgrade is going a little bit slowly for CommanderDiva, allowing his opponent MadEnte to catch up and already have his own upgrade, which is going up way faster because it's being, I guess, yeah, it is being assisted by more engineers, while Diva is just sitting there with a commander alone. Quite a precarious position, I dare say, but even more precarious is the way that forward factories of Strife are being attacked, raided, completely ravaged by a horde of tanks from Ilotos or Yotos or Lalotos or whatever. Yes, indeed, both Ilotos and Strife have no upgrades to speak of, and they are fighting for this territory with their, with the rest of their allies to the best of their ability. You can see that, yes, you can see that Strife is running out of troops, running out of tanks, even though, of course, tanks are constantly being produced from the factories, but they aren't being produced quickly enough, because, as you can see, he's running out of them again. All of the factories are under threat. He's also being bombarded by one attack bomber. I had no idea what that was all about. Okay, there's another bomber incoming. I guess Ilotos is just sending them one by one. But in the meantime, you can see that the forces of both I Am Happy as well as System Failure are arriving and trying to assist either commander. It looks like Happy is going to be slightly more successful at that, as there are more tanks of his in the area and more reinforcements from System Failure are being intercepted. Also, it seems like Ilotos is running out of tanks, so the playing field might be getting leveled very shortly. And most importantly, already Strife is coming out with Blaze Assault tanks, which you really don't want to get those anywhere near the enemy commander, because yeah, this will happen. Actually, no, never mind. This one got killed by the enemy tanks, but anyway. It looks like it's going down to the wire. They are roughly equal in terms of health. Well, okay, never mind. It's like 7,600 health versus 4,500. That's not equal at all. More bombers flying overhead, hitting both commanders at the same time. I have no idea who these bombers are supposed to belong to, but wow, what an intense fight. And look at, there are more and more Blaze tanks arriving. Already you've got 5 in the area, and I'm sure more are on the way, especially considering Strife can more than afford them. The problem, however, is that Strife is rapidly dying here. 1,400 health already, 1,300, 1,200, 1,100, but also the commander of Ilotos is dropping into the red as well, and they're about to blow up! No! They both blow up. It's a draw. It's a draw on the, what is this flank against southeastern, right? Yes, it's a draw on this southeastern part of the map. Both commanders blow up, and it looks like their bases actually get transferred to their teammates instead of exploding together with the commanders. So from that we find out this game is actually being played as full share. Fancy that, huh? Yes, indeed. So it looks like the former base of Strife has now gone to Emptynoob. Very wisely, considering he is the highest rated player, while the frontal positions of Ilotos have gone to System Failure. So both high rate, both orphan bases, I should say, have gone to the some of the high rated players on either team. So they probably should be relatively happy about that. Of course, Tech 3 has already hit the field. You already got T3 scouts getting shot down by a squadron of T3 fighters. Scouts still flying every which way. It looks like in terms of air for now, Emptynoob is holding superiority at 25 air units, but of course lots of them are also T1 scouts as well as interceptors. Finally, at 12 minutes into the game, someone has decided to occupy the northwestern plateau. It's actually not moxnat like you'd expect considering he's the air player. No, it's actually AlDominix who's done that. Meanwhile, Dominix's ground force is getting decimated by an enemy stealth gun commander of BoeHOnacHocTe. Yes, it looks like they are actually forced to retreat, because this commander is a little bit too much for them to bear. They can't even see him, right? Yep, can't even see that commander, to say nothing of actually beating him. Especially considering that while AlDominix himself has actually got T2 and gun, so he could actually stand up to the Cybran commander, but he's lagging so far behind. He really should not be sending those tanks forward. They just get slaughtered by the commander. That is a definitive mistake if he continues on that path. Does manage to shoot down a couple bombers that just casually randomly decided to fly by, but that won't change anything. Gorthaur is complaining about not selecting anything, not being able to select anything, but oh well, I guess he did it now. Yes, as expected, here AlDominix is forced to retreat as his tanks are getting pounded by the opposing commander, as well as the slightly better positioning of the enemy Mattises are allowing who's this again? Yeah, right, BoeHOnacHocTe are allowing BoeHOnacHocTe for the moment to focus more precisely on the enemy forces and eliminate them with greater efficiency. The plateaus in the middle are being heavily contested still, both System Failure and I'm Happy want a piece of that particular pie. Now I Am Happy, of course, is already coming out with some T2 of his own. This time is going to be the Mongeese, who are, well, actually, interestingly enough, Mongeese outrange Ilshevos quite heavily. So even though System Failure has the most powerful T2 unit in the game, the Mongeese could still be more than a match for them as long as they are microed properly. Now, of course, you know, it's a tricky business to micro them properly, but I am sure a 1400 rated player should know something about that, right? Something. T3 land, meanwhile, has hit the field, this time from MadEnte, and he's coming out with some loyalists. Yeah, makes sense, right? Loyalists, they can quickly reach the front lines and completely smash the unprepared enemy T2 forces, or even mostly T1 forces as of now. And you can see right now, as the Ilshevo is attacking, yep, see, the Ilshevo can't reach those Mongeese, but they are having a relatively easy time just pounding the robot with both their Gatling guns and grenades. Come on, come on, walk with me, my dude. Never mind. Okay, it just stood there and took it, eh? Cool. Thanks for the visual, I suppose. Meanwhile, we've got more and more air building up, as you'd expect, of course. You can already see that both Emptynoob and moxnat have got themselves T3 air. moxnat's already got 2 T3 power generators, but just 1 factory. Meanwhile, Emptynoob is investing a lot more heavily into air with 3 generators and 2 factories already. No doubt we'll shortly follow up with another factory or 2, probably 2, because, you know, I feel like 3 generators, especially with adjacency, are enough to support 4 factories. Could be wrong, but I think so. Last time I played air, it definitely felt like it was enough. And meanwhile, Gorthaur is assisting the factories with his commander, as well as a whole bunch of T2 engineers, while his T3 engineers are busy constructing more and more factories, as you'd expect. Same thing for, well, no, actually not. Zoom is just kind of standing around with his commander doing nothing. Still got 2 T2 generators. I guess he might be slightly worried about... No, he really shouldn't be worried about energy. I don't think you need this many generators for just 1 factory. Well, what do I know? Yes, we've got movement all over the map, of course. More build up of more forces for Happy, who's surprisingly pushing back against System Failure as of right now. I'm guessing Failure is just focusing on, he's focusing on setting up a fire base. A mighty fire base that will allow him to hold off any amounts of Gatling bots or missile launchers or pillars or whatever else you can think of. Fire bases, of course, being set up in the middle as well by the commanders who have finished their T2 upgrades. Well, they probably finished them like, you know, 7 minutes ago, but whatever. We're still here, we're still watching. And no, interestingly enough, no turrets whatsoever from MadEnte, while there are plenty of turrets on the opposing side, as well as the missile launcher, which has got itself 1 kill at 1500 mass, so it definitely should have been a T2 extractor somewhere. A little bit sad that we missed it, but it definitely happened. The commanders of both BoeHOnacHocTe and AlDominix were walking at each other for a moment, but now AlDominix decides to leave. Because, yeah, even though he can technically stand up to the Cybran commander, the latter still has an advantage because of the stealth. You have to get real close to him before you can actually see him and can shoot him in return. Unless, of course, there is a T3 scout flying overhead, but that's, you know, that can be a tricky business to arrange this early into the game. Without the scout getting immediately shot down like you're about to witness right here. Can I rotate the camera, please? Okay. I think this scout might get away. Yep, it did. Never mind me. Don't mind me, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Resource allocation system being slowly but surely built up by Zoom. Yeah, you probably want to get it done faster than in 4.5 minutes, though. That does not sound like very reasonable timing for your RAS, especially considering how many resources you've got. You can definitely spare more engineers to support that. Oh, whatever. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Already 4 factories and 5 generators for Gorthaur. His commander is also not upgraded at all, and just like the commander of forgot his name again, Zoom, right? But I'm sure he's not complaining as of now. It looks like, yeah, some stuff of BoeHOnacHocTe has been demolished. It actually looks like his... Wait, what? Where is his... Huh? What? Okay, it looks like BoeHOnacHocTe actually is going for T2 air. Well, he has T2 air, but he has no T2 land. He's just fighting with T1 land on that commander. Interesting. Yeah. MadEnte is just looking at this like, what, bro, what are you doing? He actually just straight up sent some loyalists in to clean the mess up. Oh no, and there's now a PD creep for AlDominix. Well, of course, it won't work too well if you walk your engineers within the range of the enemy guns, but yeah. Okay, he does have some bangers, but where is his T2 headquarters? What is happening? Did he just control K his T2 land headquarters? Because that's really weird. Why did you do that? What? Okay, yeah, it's gone. I have no idea how, but he has some T2 units, but his T2 land headquarters are just gone. Maybe they got wrecked by a missile, but like all of the extractors are intact. You'd think the extractors would go first, so yeah. No idea what's happening. He is building a T2 transport now. Might be preparing for some kind of an airdrop, even though as a Cybran commander you don't really like airdrops unless you've already got your laser. Okay, a serious clash between the forces of system failure and Happy in the middle. It looks like system failure might be getting a better end of that engagement because, you know, the enemy monkeys are just walking into his Ilshivos. That is not something you want to witness. Yeah, it looks like this huge wave of T1 and T2 units out for Happy is just going to die for no reason and get reclaimed by system failure. Alas. Alas indeed. And there is also T3 mobile artillery on the field now for system failure as well. It looks as though there isn't anything being prepared in return for Happy. However, he does have himself his own T3 units now, and unlike system failure, who's just investing into artillery for now, Happy is actually going with Titans who can just punch through these Ilshivos and just reduce them to mush. So I guess he might be able to outplay here, system failure here. At least the massive swarm of units that was just there got eliminated by the Titans. So that's very much well played. Oh, and they are about to bag themselves a few T3 engineers as well. Ow. Ow, that's painful. Ah, no. Run, engineers, run. Oh, they are running, but it's way too late for this one. Random artillery shells dropping on them. They don't seem too phased. Of course, you know, there is no way in hell T3 artillery shells can hit Titans. That is just not something that happens. I'm pretty sure it's just physically impossible. A big breakthrough of loyalists against the positions of, who's this again? AlDominix, right? Yes, the loyalists of MadEnte has found Dente in the enemy's front line and are now currently sneaking through, destroying T2 mass extractors. That is not very pleasant, let me tell you. Not one bit very pleasant, or not one, however you say that. There are some lightning tanks in order of rolling out to meet them, but lightning tanks are not very effective against T2, T3 land units. Yep, as you can see right there. There is now a brick and fellow loyalists out from CommanderDiva, so yeah, this is where this breakthrough gets stopped, but did bag themselves some T2 mass extractors. I'm not entirely sure it was a worthy trade in the end. If they destroyed these extractors, it might be, but otherwise not. Nope, they're hitting you gotta aim properly, my dude. Your dudes were just hitting factories for no reason. Okay, so I guess that's it. They'll try to reach the base, but they will get cleaned up. I just saw a weird notification somewhere. Oh, yep, there we go. This is actually Emptynoob completing his experimental unit. Yeah, since Emptynoob's got so much economy, because he inherited a base from Strife, he has now completed himself a Galactic Colossus. A nice little experimental right there. Can track it if we so desire. Just watch it walk. Oh, look at this dramatic walk. Can I also switch? Yes, I can. Very cool. I can actually switch to neutral observer, but still be following the GC. It also looks like Emptynoob has got himself some harbingers as well. So he's using Strife's base to its full potential, you know, to its full extent. Actually upgrading T2 mass extractors to T3 on the front line, as you can see right here, with assistance from engineers. But I think we should stop tracking now, really, because it's hello? Spin? Okay, there you go. Still not entirely sure. Well, I am sure how to operate the camera. It's still, you know, still getting the hang of this, you know, still learning stuff. For some reason, as BoeHOnacHocTe is retreating, he's building... Wait, that wasn't him. Never mind. It was actually engineers, because BoeHOnacHocTe can't possibly have T2 on his commander, as he's chosen gun instead. The commander of system failure is retreating from the front line after having upgraded himself with T3. Ooh. I don't think he's built anything important with his T3, except perhaps a T3 factory on the front line, which is nice, but that won't like fundamentally change the course of battle, you know. This, however, might, right here, and the Gorthaur is being constructed, so overall, people are going into this phase of the game where they will be building experimentals left and right, and I can't wait to see how that works out. The Galactic Colossus is still on the way, so while it's walking, I can actually... Oh, you know what? I can probably get a great tracking shot here if I just do this, and then I follow... yeah, there you go. I can follow not just the GC itself, but the entire army. There you go, the GC is now being pinged, as it's being followed by a whole bunch of blazes and harbingers. In the meantime, we can take a look at the economy, because of course, what else could we possibly be doing? So, it looks like Emptynoob and moxnat are leading the charge with almost 500 mass per second. By comparison, Gorthaur and Zoom, who are the opposing air players, have about half of that economy. System failure with 2 bases is sitting around, around 320 mass per second, so he is still super far behind. So that does not look very good for Team 1. Let me tell you that. And even though it looks like the numbers advantage in terms of air might be in favor of Team 2, yeah, there you go, about 200 in total versus about 150. It still might not matter when the economic advantage is so overwhelming. Yeah, you can see already, you can see that, you know, a whole bunch of support commanders have been built up by moxnat, and he's also building T3 mass extractors everywhere, even in, you know, outlying areas. He's only protecting them with T3 SAM launchers. Yeah, I think you need to build some TMDs there as well, but I'm sure he can figure it out himself. Meanwhile, a nuke has been completed for system failure. Does the enemy team know about that? Yes, they have a perfect read on that nuke. In fact, they actually have a scout behind the enemy team, which is amazing. I have no idea how it survived that long, but I guess it doesn't really matter since it's just one scout. But yes, nuke has been spotted, and already there are how many strategic missile defense units? 1 and what? Just 1? Oh, 2. There you go. So they should be loaded long before the nuke actually gets fired, so you might as well just reclaim that now. But anyway, a massive swarm of attack bombers being built up, I am assuming to protect from the Colossus, and also, oh yes, and Gorthaur is also sending a whole host of, what are they called again? Gunships, right? Yeah, T2 gunships, of course. So they are being sent straight at the Colossus. So it has no chance of firing anything anywhere, or of destroying anything anywhere. It's trying to hit frontal fire base. It's not doing a very great job though. It's missing everything. Didn't even destroy hydrocarbon power plant, which is absolutely shameful. It's being heavily reduced in health, but in the meantime, an air fight breaks out overhead. You can see the Cybran fighters out from Emptynoob are engaging against the Aeon and Seraphim fighters of both Gorthaur and Zoom. And it looks like that is not going very well for Team 1 at all. And in fact, the orange fighters out from moxnat are only now flying in. They're getting completely decimated as they are flying, so that's it. That's the remainder of Team 1's air completely gone, so now Team 2 has full air dominance, so all of these gunships and all of these bombers can just fire upon the GC completely unimpeded, and I'm expecting it to fall any second now. It probably won't reach anything important. Let's face it here. Yes, so many bombs, so many gunship rounds. It's gonna fall in 3. Come on. Oh, yep, nope, I missed it. Here, there it goes. I complete another mass donation, accomplishing precisely nothing. Meanwhile, though, it might be slightly different in the middle, as the Gorthaur that has been being built up forever by system failure is now threatened directly by an invading Monkey Lord out from CommanderDiva. There is a rival Monkey Lord coming in from BoeHOnacHocTe, but it's still quite a ways away. So the Monkey Lord can definitely deal with the enemy Ilotos in the meantime, or I don't know, but it's firing at something. Oh yeah, it is firing at the Ilotos, so yeah, if you melt down the Ilotos, you can just walk away and be happy that you got that. Have to run away from the enemy Monkey Lord because, you know, that thing will definitely wreck you. You might still not be able to get away because, you know, there are so many gunships. Yes, the gunships from Gorthaur have joined the party and are now obliterating the Monkey Lord. Look at his health just completely melted. Already 4,000 left over, and now the bombers out from Zoom are here as well, so down goes that Monkey Lord. It is sort of kind of within no man's land, and there's a Colossus on the way from, once again, CommanderDiva. But for now, it looks like the Monkey Lord out from BoeHOnacHocTe has secured the area and could possibly reclaim all the wreckage. We should definitely keep watching that. T3 gunships being constructed by BoeHOnacHocTe in the meantime, so yeah, he's just gone full air and experimental mode, as hasn't got quite the build power to support them though. Has he got the mass though? It looks like, yeah, I probably would have upgraded a few more massive structures if I were him first before going for a megalith. He has got himself still 4,000 mass in the bank, but that's evaporating quite rapidly, so probably won't be too reliable. The Monkey Lord of BoeHOnacHocTe has approached the enemy firebase, but yeah, it has absolutely no business here. So many turrets and a Galactic Colossus, you should definitely get away. Whilst the bombers, yeah, you can see all of the bombers from Zoom got completely shut down here by all the flak in the area. The gunships managed to narrowly avoid that and are now harassing the outlying mass extractors of the enemy. It looks like they're doing a pretty great job at that so far. But it looks like we've hit a little bit of a lull, so let's check out for enemy, or not for enemies, sorry, let's check for players' bases, see what they're working on. And you can already see a nasty surprise for the Team 2, sorry, as the first Disruptor T3 heavy artillery installation has been completed for moxnat. Yes, moxnat is so far ahead of the game here that he's already finished a T3 artillery installation at 28 minutes into the game, and it's now firing directly at the enemy base. So where exactly is it firing? Well, the shots haven't reached yet, so we don't really know. We do know it's going to be really nasty though. Does the enemy team even know about that? No, they just see some structures and that's it. So it's going to be a... Oh, Gorthaur is already throwing out the GG. I guess the first shots have landed somewhere. They are landing on the... on nothing. Okay, yeah, well, it's a Cybran Disruptor, you know, it's it takes a while for it to actually hit anything, so that's perfectly within the realm of expectations. Oh, wait, never mind, already one air factory got hit and destroyed. That's not good. Yep, have to shield up real quick here. Well, that was a super fast disruptor though, and it's actually doing its job of disrupting the enemy's plans. Look at this, already mass fabricators exploding, one factory down, all of the air production still exposed, could very easily get blown up here, so... a massive inconvenience for Team 2 at the very least. Even though they have secured the air superiority, moxnat was busy building up such a powerful economy that it's not entirely clear how Team 2 can even catch up, honestly. Oh, it looks like BoeHOnacHocTe just got blown up by an artillery shell. Oof, that's not very cool. At least his base does get transferred to Gorthaur, who has just lost all of his air production already. My lord. That one disruptor is just being such a massive nuisance already that I don't know what they can even do about the second disruptor. Well, there is one thing they can do. System failure is just building up an Awasa over here. Experimental bomber, that could definitely put an end to all of the enemy artillery. But could that be enough? Because with such a powerful economy, most of which is mobile now because of these guys, the Rascoms, since so much of it is mobile, I am not entirely sure that will even matter. Oh, he's built up a whole bunch of T3 mass fabricators too, so these are also going to be hard to destroy with just one bomber. We'll see though. We'll see. Okay, Zoom is upgrading T2 now. Interesting choice. Any strategic missile defense is still operational. It looks like the nuke that has been launched by system failure actually didn't reach anything. Yeah. I guess it just got shut down by all these defense units, but now... I was gonna say with the second disruptor being complete, but it clearly isn't. It looks like moxnat himself is going for a laser. So, yeah. If any pesky teleporters show up in his own base, he will deal with them personally, you know. I will deal with them myself. And so he will, almost complete with a laser. Oh, that one disruptor is still causing horrific damage. Honestly, you really don't see a Cybran disruptor, a single Cybran disruptor causing such catastrophic damage. Look at this. Wow, that's... Yep. Destroyed air. And also it looks like the quantum gateway that Gorthaur has built up was also surrounded by mass fabricators. Those are gone as well. Ouch. Ouchie, and now it's shooting, oh no, it's shooting at the strategic missile defense, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, it doesn't look like Team 1 has nukes at all, but you know, just in case, destroy the SMD, you can probably build a nuke in like an instant. At least moxnat definitely can, and just send a nuke at them as well, because why not? Looks like the Awasa is hitting the front lines, along with a Monkey Lord out from Gorthaur. I guess that was the one left over from BoeHOnacHocTe, and a bunch of bricks from MadEnte as well. But now the Awasa is leaving, and oh no, it's okay, it's flying straight into a swarm of enemy fighters, and it drops one bomb, gets shot down immediately, and the bomb barely even hits anything. Wow. What a waste. Gorthaur is saying GG Blue. Is he talking to himself or to oh yep, there goes Gorthaur, just rage quits with a Control K. Oh no. And there's a second disruptor on the way now. Oh crap. Yep, and now two disruptors will be pounding the air production of Zoom. Currently it looks like it's mostly fine. I can see the headquarters there. Oh yeah, there you go. There are the headquarters. They are already damaged, so you should really build up more shields as fast as you can. Happy has completed a fat boy. Yes indeed, there's a fat boy here. It looks like the Monkey Lord from Gorthaur accomplished nothing. It got fried by the opposing Monkey Lord, who's now got some veterancy, so it will regenerate his health. Could even come back into the fight later. A big air fight breaks out between all of the remaining players. You can see System Failures fighters in red, Zoom's fighters in blue, and of course Emptynoob's fighters in cyan. Interestingly enough, it looks like Zoom is still getting the better end of this engagement. Yeah, there you go. All of the fighters out from Emptynoob have been eliminated. System Failures fighters did retreat for a moment though, not entirely sure why, but I guess Zoom had everything on lock. Even though they are taking such massive L's from the opposing artillery, they are still trying, they are still, you know, fighting, they are still in the game. So I suppose now they need to do something really quick about those, about those disruptors. Another Awasa being built up, that could work. However, of course, the enemy sees everything because of the scouts flying overhead. There's a Yathiltha in the middle of System Failures base. Not in the middle, but on the edge, but you know what I mean. In the main base. It is now walking out. Not entirely sure when it's going to reach the front line. But yes. It is definitely doing its thing. Or is going to do, eventually. The Fat Boy is approaching the firebase of System Failure that's been giving them so much trouble for a long time, or at least has been giving Happy serious troubles. So we'll see if the Fat Boy is enough to break through it, which it's actually not going there, so never mind, we will never find out. In the meantime though, a third disruptor on the way for moxnat. This guy is going full sicko mode with those artillery pieces, and oh lord, is it working. Already made the highest ranked player of the enemy team disconnect. Just straight up rage quit, so definitely working. See absolutely no reason to keep building up even more disruptors. In the meantime, yeah, we saw the Awasa being done. There you go, the Awasa is actually flying in from Zoom. So the enemy team can't see the Awasa, but they can see a massive swarm of fighters flying for some reason. They should realize that something is amiss here, as long as they are paying attention to the map. We have no Omni anymore, by the way, says Gorthaur. Okay, a big bomb is going to be dropped on all of these poor Harbingers. There you go. Got a cinematic shot of that. It definitely seems like the Awasa is trying to bait the enemies into itself in order to do another successful air fight and secure the air advantage forever. The Awasa is being sent alongside the eastern side of the map. There is a nuke going out from... Yes, another nuke from System Failure. We should probably pay attention and see where that's going. What if we do the split thing? See the nuke here and see the Awasa here. The Awasa is still flying. It's still flying. Okay, yep. It definitely is flying, alright. It is being pursued by a whole bunch of fighters, all of the fighters of Team 1. However, very clever maneuvers by Zoom allow the Awasa to act as a bait. Ultimately, it still fails and the Awasa still falls down, so we can cancel this split view now. The nuke actually landed on top of the enemy Fat Boy and completely eradicated it, so now, perhaps now Team 2 can push in. I hope you caught the nuke on the second display, like on the second screen. Hope you didn't actually, you know, lose it. Because, you know, these split view controls can be quite whack. But anyway, yes, it's clear now that Team 2 is pushing quite heavily. They're actually running past the soothsayer that was built up by, who was it again? Yes, right, built by Diva. They're running just past that. Oh, it looks like a whole bunch of mass fabricators have been eliminated by something. If I understand correctly, I think it might be... Right, because there is a Cybran player on Team 2, so it might be MadEnte, but I don't see his command. Oh, there's the command. Yep, there you go. He's got Veteran C5 and Telemazer, so he's definitely teleported there and destroyed a whole bunch of these mass fabricators. Ultimately, it doesn't matter though, because moxnat is still at 700 mass per second, but you know, it was a nice touch, I suppose. Scared him straight, right? But unfortunately for Team 2, nothing is deterring moxnat from continuing his construction miracle, his industrial miracle here. Already three disruptors up. All three of them are firing in sync, the most important thing here. And he's already about 20% done with his Scathis. So, oh Lord Almighty. Very soon we might also see a Scathis firing upon the enemy. Ouch. And it looks like System Failure's commander is under fire. The headquarters of Zoom have been destroyed, so he can produce no more fighter planes. Luckily for them, they still want air, but I mean, they can't actually rebuild the Air Force, while Team 1 still can. Oh no. I'm quite shocked that this strategic missile defense unit is still online, still operational. Even though, you know, it won't matter because the enemy doesn't have nukes anyway. We've got 2 Ilotos pushing into 2 Monkeylords in the middle. 1 Monkeylord already down. The Ilotos are walking away for some reason. That is not very good maneuvering. The Ilotos is getting fried by the Monkeylord without being able to fire back. There you go. It goes down. It might hit the Monkeylord with some of its death lightning, but yeah. That was horrible maneuvering. At the very least, they did manage to save the second chicken. It's completely intact. There's another chicken on the way as well, so it looks like System Failure and MadEnte are still not giving up, still attacking as hard as they can. Which is very nice indeed. Oh, it looks like MadEnte is teleporting. Oh, I'm glad I caught that. Okay, where is he going? He is going towards the disruptors, of course. Where else could he possibly be going, right? So no pings so far from Team 1. They don't realize what's happening. Even though the annoying sound of the laser is of course there, as ever. But now he emerges and he targets he targets something behind the shield. It looks like he's targeting the generators to cause a chain reaction. There you go, 1 disruptor heavily damaged, 1 disruptor already down. The second one still at 5,000 health though, you gotta kill that, my dude. He is still firing at something else. Hello, you gotta kill the second disruptor. Yep, there you go. He raises that, completely vaporizes it. There isn't even reclaim left. The third disruptor is still operational. It could very easily... Oh, he barely didn't manage to destroy that. 2,300 health left. What? Wow. Okay, well, what I say it was a fairly successful teleportation, destroying 2 disruptor cannons out of 3. Even though the last shells from them are still falling, you know, that is going to be a hell of a lot easier now for Team 1 to defend against. Oh, and there's another Colossus in the base, but once again, you know, Zoom can still produce a whole bunch of attack bombers because, you know, all of his factories are still intact. You just can't make T2 or T3 planes, but he can make plenty of T1 attack bombers, and they will do the job against the GC just fine. Come on, fall down already. Fall for me! Fall for me, damn you! Come on, there you go. Moxnat is saying Doomsday Weapon in the chat. Did he complete his Scathis or... No, it's still around, what is it again, 71% done only, so never mind that. Happy has built another, what I'm assuming to be a fat boy, yes indeed. The chickens in the middle, I can't even see them. Oh, they're going around. Okay, the chickens have decided to flank the enemy. They are going through a fire base, which should be very easy for them to destroy. The problem is, of course, they can't avoid the bombardment of the fat boy, and now there's a megalith out for Commander as well, for Diva, I should say. The Monkey Lords fall down to the massive amount of bricks that System Failure is trying to shove down their throats. But now the megalith is confused. He's trying to retreat. Yeah, he's trying to micro it like so it reverses and still keeps shooting forward. However, the megalith disobeys the orders and just turns around. Well, at least it might be able to finish the first chicken. The other chicken is walking away. What? Where are you going? Okay, the other chicken just decided to have brain worms. A whole bunch of Athum tanks and bricks rapidly dismantling the megalith. Look at how fast his health is dropping, my lord. There, down goes the megalith, no problem whatsoever. Even if the chickens get destroyed, still the bricks can present a massive threat to the bases of Team 1, or at least to the forward fire base. Two fat boys will of course be able to destroy plenty of them, and there is an incoming band of Harbingers as well. Harbingers are much faster than bricks, of course, so they will be there in no time. Also got another land push. Well, it's not like a push, it's like a reconnaissance mission, I guess, a combat reconnaissance of some sort. A whole bunch of Seraphim T1 artillery pushing against Harbingers, which will of course fail, even though there are some T3 tanks that won't be enough. But so we can focus on this again. Oh, whoops, that was my bad. Yes, indeed, we can see that the bricks are still pushing, the fat boys are still running away in fear. However, I just saw something written in chat that might be a little bit more problematic for Team 2's push, because Zoom has already been defeated by Control K. Yep, there you go. Because I'm pretty sure the Scathis is now done. Yep, there you go. It's currently reloading, and there's also an Awasa completed for AlDominix, which I'm pretty sure that Awasa will just put an end to all of the bricks right now. They're even gathering round, specifically, you know, in a tighter formation, in order to get completely destroyed by a single bomb. Goodbye. That's already 20 kills for the Awasa, 13,000 mass destroyed. Very nicely done, Awasa. Good job there. And there goes the Scathis barrages. Oh my word, look at this. Already the base of Team 2 is full of holes, and now about to gain a whole bunch more holes. Look at this. Oh no, it actually didn't hit anything, so never mind that. Yeah, it barely penetrated the shields, but you know, the shields won't come back as fast as they need to, because the second barrage of the Scathis is already on the way. There it goes. Let's see how much damage that does, now that the shields are mostly gone. Okay, there you go. Oh, it's hitting empty space mostly. Alright then, it once again barely destroys anything. I am sure though he will figure out the Scathis controls eventually and do some damage eventually. There is a red Ilotos somehow walking all over the fire bases of Team 2, and looks like there's a desync, but I don't think it's gonna matter because the entirety of Team 2 has now been defeated. Yep, there you go. That the Scathis was the final straw that finally broke the camel's back and forced them to disconnect. So there you go, that's the game. So even despite the fact that Team 2 has held air superiority for most of the game, and even though they were pushing quite aggressively, ultimately the superior economies of moxnat and Emptynoob, pretty much moxnat and Emptynoob made this game mostly alone, with those artillery pieces as well as air production, you know, shooting down those Awasas quite aptly. And yeah, their efforts allowed the Team 1 to ultimately come out on top, despite being at a disadvantage in terms of the air game throughout the entirety of the match. So yeah, quite a good match. I enjoyed it quite a lot, and I hope you did as well. But yes, this is all I've got for you for today. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video, of course, subscribe to the channel, maybe leave a comment down below with your thoughts, what you'd like to see, what you'd like me to improve on, what you'd like to see, what kinds of other casts you would like to see as well. Don't be afraid to share. I'm always willing to listen to constructive criticism and suggestions. Anyway, yes, like I said already, this is what I've got for you for today. This is all I've got, so goodbye, take care everybody, and I hope to see you again soon on the battlefields of the future.